Over the past few months, I've been testing the Splach Twin. In this review, I'll dive deep into my performance results and compare it to popular alternatives. Let's find out if this scooter is worth your money. Thanks for tuning in. The Twin boasts dual 600 watt motors, delivering a total peak power of 2000 watts. Splach claims it can reach a top speed of 28 miles per hour. Using my advanced performance testing equipment, I managed to register a speed of 28.6 miles per hour. That's a tad more than Splach's promise. It edges out the Pegasus in speed, even though they are similarly priced. If you need more speed and you're willing to stretch your budget a bit, there are other mid-range scooters out there that offer about a 10% increase in top speed. Now, even though there are faster scooters around, the Twin offers some of the best speed to cost value in the mid-range category. Next up, I benchmarked the acceleration. Across multiple tests, I averaged 15 miles per hour in 2.33 seconds, 20 miles per hour in 4.4 seconds, and 25 miles per hour in just shy of 6.5 seconds. When matching these results up against comparable models, they speak for themselves. This scooter is extremely fast off the mark. It puts almost all competitors at its price point to shame. The Twin reigns as the true acceleration king in electric scooters under $1,000. I also tested the Splach Twin on hills. I completed our hill test in 7.6 seconds with an average speed of 22.4 miles per hour. The only reason it loses out to the Apollo City Pro and the Ghost is because of its limited top speed that carries over to its hill performance. A nice feature of the Twin is that it has effectively 12 different speed settings. With 3 different gears on the display, an Eco Turbo button, and a single dual button, you can really dial in the scooter's performance to suit your personal needs. The speed can also be limited from 5 to 100% in the P settings. To sum up, the Twin offers some of the very best in-class motor performance at its price point, and especially the acceleration is next level. The Splach Twin has a 48 volts, 15.6 amp hours battery. The total capacity is 748 watt-hours. Splach advertises a range of 35 miles and a charge time of 7.5 hours. The battery capacity is the same as the Pegasus. Some of the Apollo models offer a higher capacity but at a higher price point. The battery to value ratio is solid but not as good as the eMove Cruiser S. However, the Cruiser is a lot heavier. From all my testing, I've found that battery capacity and the real-world range can differ substantially. So I tested the range at 3 different speeds. In the speed priority test, I got 22.4 miles on a single charge. In the regular test, I got 25.7 miles. And lastly, in the range priority test, I got 29.8 miles on a charge. Now let's hold these results up against the competitors. In the first test, it comfortably beats the Pegasus and surprisingly edges out both the City Pro 22 and the Ghost. The Cruiser wins as suspected. In the second test, the Apollo models catch up, but it still beats the Pegasus with a visible margin. In the range priority test, we see the same picture, but quite impressively, it's only about 8% off the 2 Apollo models. Looking at these stats, we can conclude that the Splach Twin has solid battery performance. It's efficient and yields substantially more range than the Pegasus, likely due to its much lighter build. One of the key selling points of the Splach Twin is its portability. It's around 7% lighter than the Cruiser S and a whopping 24% lighter than the Pegasus. When folded, the form factor is also very small, making it easy to store without taking up too much space. One thing that adds to its compactness is the adjustable height and foldable handlebars. The folding point of the scooter is also between the deck and front wheel, which means it can balance without a kickstand when folded. The folding mechanism itself isn't as easy or quick to operate as what you'll find on the Pegasus or Apollo models, but it gets the job done effectively. So if you need a blend between power and portability, the Splach Twin is definitely worth considering. The Splach Twin's portability and low maintenance design means some trade-offs regarding ride quality. First off, the scooter has 8-inch solid tires. While they are maintenance free, the ride quality is worse than on pneumatics. They don't handle as well and they are a lot less safe on wet roads. In my opinion, 8 inches is too small for a scooter with this level of power, even if they were pneumatic. The pairing of these two elements gives a slight sense of instability at full speed. To offset this issue, the Splach Twin has dual spring suspension. It effectively reduces road vibrations significantly, but it doesn't turn this scooter into an off-road contender. A nice bonus is that the springs are adjustable to match your weight and preference. If the road conditions are poor on your commute or you plan to ride in the rain, I recommend you go pneumatic. And in that case, the Twin has a bigger brother, the Plus, which has 8.5-inch pneumatic tires. The price is a little bit higher, but considering that the scooter is already packed with value, it's still a good deal. However, 8.5 inches is still on the small end. The Splach Twin has 2 drum brakes and adjustable electronic regen braking. Although not as smooth or effective as disc brakes, drum brakes feel like the best solution for this scooter and its power level, as they have the benefit of being almost maintenance-free. I tested the braking distance to be 11.6 feet from a 15 miles per hour speed. Anything below 12 feet is great, but it doesn't quite match the competitors. Still, it has ample stopping power on dry roads. The handlebars are large and the handles are ergonomically shaped for comfort. With the adjustable handlebar size, the scooter will accommodate riders of most sizes. However, it should be noted that the max load is 220 pounds. While foldable handlebars are nice, they can wiggle a tiny bit when riding. It doesn't make the scooter feel unsafe, but it isn't as reassuring as solid handlebars. The LCD display resembles the popular iDisplay, which is seen on numerous models including many Dualtron scooters. It lacks brightness in direct sunlight, but can be angled to your height. It displays important information like your speed, battery level, an odometer, and what gear setting you are in at the moment. The scooter has an index finger throttle. I prefer thumb throttles, but it's largely a personal preference. There is a bit of dead space before the acceleration kicks in, but generally the response is smooth and quick. The 2 brake levers are nicely shaped and feel smooth to operate, and the mode buttons are tactile. The bell does its job, but I can't help but feel the cockpit is a bit cramped with individual components that could be integrated better together for improved looks and usability. There are also quite a lot of cables which can be sore on the eye. The Splach Twin has ample deck space. While not as wide along as some alternatives, it has a footrest that allows for various standing positions and improved weight shifting. The deck has 5.5 inches of ground clearance, which is enough for overcoming most obstacles, including curbs and potholes. All in all, the ride quality is decent. The biggest advantage is that it's low maintenance, however there are scooters that will feel better to ride in this price class. The Twin is well designed, but there is room for improvement. First off, the scooter uses T6 aluminum alloy in large parts of its design. It's a go-to material in the e-scooter space for its lightweight strength properties. The Twin has large angular shaped plastic fenders. They divert water well, but an additional connection point to the spring arms would improve durability. The kickstand is a bit flimsy, but it's long enough to accommodate the high ground clearance. The scooter can't really stand upright on angled surfaces, but that's an issue many scooters have. The folding mechanism isn't as easy to operate as on scooters like the Pegasus and Apollo City, but it's strong, sturdy, and has a locking pin for extra safety. The scooter has an IP54 weather resistance rating. This means it's protected against critical dust ingress and water sprays from any direction. While the scooter itself may survive a trip in light rain, we never recommend riding on solid tires on wet surfaces. The Twin has an interesting light setup with distinct LED tubes on the sides of the deck. The rear brake lights flash brightly in the dark, and the headlights are also fairly bright. However, we always prefer a high-mounted headlight that is angled slightly down towards the road. This will light up the road better, and also at the same time you won't blind other road users. All in all, the build is reliable. There are just a few things that they could do differently to improve it in my opinion. The Splach Twin is an ideal electric scooter for riders who value low maintenance, portability, and bang for the buck performance, but are willing to make compromises in terms of ride comfort and build quality. The advantages I want to highlight are the incredible acceleration, the impressive real-world range, its portability and compactness, and the low maintenance nature. The disadvantages I want to highlight are the rough handling and ride quality due to solid tires, the foldable handlebars that can wiggle a bit, and then the lack of stability at high speeds. That wraps up our review. If you want to support the channel, feel free to use our affiliate link at the top of the description. It supports our content and allows us to purchase and test more scooters. For a more comprehensive review of the Twin that includes comparisons based on live price data, head over to our website at ERideHero.com. Thanks for watching.